Today we're going to talk about the Baler Gate track and the the gate operation. Now, a lot of times these gate tracks go out of alignment for various reasons. Most of the time is during shipping. The straps that hold the baler in place on the truck will pull the gate track in, making the gate hard to close. Or if you replace the gate for any reason, sometimes there's a little variation in the size of the gate where you might have to adjust the gate track. We're going to adjust these gate tracks with this tool that we made. Now, you can get this tool from us at PTR. We could make one for you that'll work on all these gates. If you install these balers, it would be a good idea if you had this tool on your truck. You put the tool on the gate track like that, and you bend it out just a little bit. You don't want to go too far, and then move it up and do the same thing up here. Move it out. That'll bend your track out a little bit and loosen the gate. And then we check the gate operation. This gate moves nice and freely, like it's supposed to. So when somebody uses the baler and pulls the gate down, they don't have to use any unnecessary force to pull the gate. All right, after you're done adjusting your tracks, we strongly recommend you wipe the gate track out, especially if it has a lot of old grease in there. Clean it out and apply new lubricant, like a good axle grease and or some WD-40, which will keep the gate tracks nice and lubricated. And that's how that gate should work, real easy. So this is a 2300 baler, and that's how we adjust the gate tracks on this. These gate tracks are welded in place, so there's no bolts or nuts where you can loosen up and move the track over. You have to use a tool like this to adjust your gate tracks. In the first part of this segment, we adjusted the gate tracks on a 2300. This particular baler is a 3400. It has a slightly different type of gate track system. It has the counterweight tubes that are bolted onto the baler, which make it a lot easier to adjust. So if you run into a situation where you have a tight gate, what you could do is loosen up these 3/4 inch bolts over here. Loosen them up a few turns. And move the gate track out a little bit, tapping on it with a hammer, because there is a slight amount of adjustment there. It'll give you just enough room. You might have to do both sides. You'll probably get like 1/8 of an inch more clearance on both of them. Once you get the gate track loosened up a little bit, you can retighten these bolts. Make sure they're nice and tight. Now your gate track works nice and smooth. And that's how we adjust the gate tracks on the 3400. Adjusting them on the 3400 is a lot easier than the 23. The 23 gate tracks are welded in place. You have to use that tool. These particular ones are bolted. You can unbolt it and you get a little adjustment out of the hole is a little bit larger than the bolt, so you'll get a little clearance there. When you're done, again, lubricate the gate tracks on both sides. Check your gate, make sure it works real good. Now there is a mounting bolt up on the top tube at the very top. You can loosen that and knock the top out a little bit if you have to. But most of the times the adjustment is right down here. So that should do it, adjusting your gate tracks on your PTR baler.